In this video, let's talk about Bitcoin and crypto big picture. Let's talk about what happened so far, halving cycle theory versus super cycle theory. Is it too late to get into this space? And lastly, I will also show you my 300k portfolio, and I will talk about my next steps because I want to add an edge to my portfolio. I am currently lacking diversification. I want something like crypto that is not crypto. And just recently I found just that. It's exciting. So if you're new to crypto, this is definitely a must watch, so let's get started. By the way, this video is sponsored by Masterworks, more on that later. I've been in this space for over 4 years by now, and as you can see, I have quite a considerable hodl stack. I will get to that in more detail soon, but first, I have good news and I have bad news. Let's start with the bad news. Basically, everyone was wrong. So for everyone who is already invested, we are in the red. My peak portfolio value was it was around 550k, and now that, now it is back to this rip. Big rip. Well, you already know it hurts. It hurts. So far, I was a big believer in the halving cycle theory, you know, stock to flow model, all that jazz, but well. So before we get to the good news, let's actually talk about the cycle theories briefly. Alright, I know if you're new to this, if you're new to crypto, you probably have no idea what all of that means. What's the halving? What is stock to flow? So let me explain that first. Bitcoin is an inflationary asset and new coins get created with every mined block. This is also called the mining reward. But every 4 years, this reward gets cut in half. And since price is a function of supply and demand, we can see a clear price surge after every halving event. Yeah, and this sparked the halving cycle theory, and the stock to flow model is also derived thanks to this fact. I used to be a big believer in this theory. Well, honestly, my mindset was completely stuck on it, which is never a good thing, of course. I'm not saying that the stock to flow model is wrong, but I know one thing for sure. The more people know about something or think something might happen, or actually it will happen for sure, well, it usually does not happen. 100k Bitcoin did not happen in 2021. So, all models are wrong, but what's next? Okay, super cycle theory. No brainer. What this means is basically forget everything, forget the past, forget about all the known patterns. From now on, it will just be a rise upwards. A very chaotic one with many dips, of course. But when you just zoom out enough, you will see what I mean. So to everyone who is already invested, stay strong. Why? Finally, here is the good news. This was not the adoption cycle. Well, obviously. Goes without saying, I guess. We are far below the all-time highs, and 100k Bitcoin still did not happen. But what does this mean? Well, this is good news for everyone who is still not invested, for everyone who wants more, for everyone who wants to keep stacking those sets, and of course other altcoins. Well, for everyone who is not invested enough. There is still time to stock up on crypto. The good news far outweigh the bad news by a lot. So, buy more. This is not investment advice, of course, but the dominoes, they are falling. No question about that. Slowly but surely. And it's not a question of if, it is just a question of when. It is not a matter of if crypto will win, but when. What I would strongly suggest would be to simply set up a DCA schedule. Keep investing a certain amount every week or every month. It is still not too late. Crypto is definitely a big part of our future. Although it is most likely going to be a rocky and hard road. When we eventually get there, you will thank yourself for doing the right thing. And that means, of course, investing in this space early. In this moment in time, the conservative approach would be to invest around 5 to 10% of your assets in Bitcoin. I'm on the more risky side, of course, because I'm all in, but I also believe in this space wholeheartedly. So, as you can see, all in all, I'm a fairly conservative investor. Well, conservative crypto investor, that is. That is why my portfolio is mainly Bitcoin and Ethereum. Slow growth, but also relatively low risk. And I tend to keep it this way. Well, mostly that is. So Bitcoin is fine, of course. ETH, well, For now, it should be fine too, but that is a whole other video. So what about the rest? First of all, there is a big bag of Avalanche. I'm not too fond of it, sadly, because there is a lot of inflation and very high token inflation is not good. And there is also a little bit of Sol. I mean, all in all, AVAX and Sol is fine, but altcoins are highly correlated to crypto, of course. And well, crypto all in all is still correlated quite a bit to the stock market. So in other words, to make it clear, I want to swap out my altcoins, talking about Sol and AVAX, and get something more stable just as a safety measurement. You know, just a bit of diversification. Short side note before we move on. What I'm doing right here is, well, it's of course very risky, showing my personal portfolio, but since I'm doing this almost every day on my German TikTok account, I thought, why not be fully transparent in this video as well, but this is of course not recommended. Keep your stash a secret. So I have said altcoins and I'm not too fond of them. I want something with an edge that won't tank when Bitcoin dips. Obviously, I don't want shitcoins or stupid moonshot projects. I'm talking about something with a value, something like NFTs, but better. Honestly, I think NFTs are insane, like smash your head against the wall insane. I would never buy NFTs. It is so risky. It is way too risky. But what if I told you that I found something like NFTs, but better? As I said, like way better. And this is where Masterworks comes in. Masterworks.io is an art platform, but you're not buying NFTs. You're actually buying real art. To be specific, the finest and best art pieces worldwide. I know this sounds completely crazy at first. Iconic art by artists such as Picasso, Banksy, Monet and so on, they're worth millions, so how is this possible? And exactly this is the reason why crypto is the future. We're back full circle, because this works thanks to crypto technology. Crypto has the power to fractionalize mostly everything, art, stocks, real estate, you name it. And Masterworks is doing just that. And with this they basically unlocked fine art investing for basically everyone. Investments in art were previously limited to the super wealthy only, but Masterworks is changing exactly that. You do not have to be extremely wealthy to build a portfolio of fine art anymore. With Masterworks you can invest in world famous art for just a fraction of what these pieces typically cost. What's more, contemporary art prices outpace the S&P 500 total returns by 164% from 1995 to 2021. And they're also very uncorrelated assets, especially in inflationary times. And that is exactly the reason why I want to add them to my portfolio. So far, Masterworks has sold 3 paintings, each returning over 30% IRR to investors. Although legally I have to add, past performance is of course no guarantee for future results, but 30% it's insane. So if you're into art and want to add it to your portfolio as well, there is no need to speculate with NFTs any longer. You can just buy fractionalized shares of the finest art pieces. This is an entirely new market unlocked. By the way, signing up is super easy. It takes less than 60 seconds. Go to masterworks.art/techmagnet, create an account on their site, browse their artworks and start diversifying your portfolio with one of the most stable assets around. So we're at the end of this video. Let's stay strong together. DCA for the win. A little bit of diversification is of course great too. And what is most important, oh my goodness, live and enjoy your life. Don't get stuck in crypto like me. Just don't get stuck in crypto. It is the future, no doubt about that. It's the future, but it is not the present. Alright, so before you go, smash that like button, then subscribe, ring the bell and click all to never miss amazing Tech Magnet videos. That's it for this one. Enjoy your day and I will see you soon.